Hi-ho, folks, and welcome back to the adventures of Turwinkle, the Gnome Mage. Well, hi, Turwinkle.
Hello.
Are you all set for tonight?
Indubitably.
Well, great, because as you can see, we are in Blackwing Descent. And the reason we're here tonight is we are going to be talking with the guild Vanitas, a wonderfully dark guild, I guess you could say. And so, without further ado, let us go and meet and find out all about Vanitas. Alrighty, folks, and so we have found the guild leader of Vanitas here, and that is Lord Malcolm Lair, the Dark Lord of Vanitas. He's a patron of the House Lair, the Black King, nicknamed Lord Malice II of House Lair. He's the Lord of Lords of Vanitas. He's Malice the Hallowed, a level 90 human warlock, currently assessing the security threat against Vanitas. And so, sir, what have you found out about the security threat against Vanitas?
Basically, there's a little rift in our own faction with the Grand Inquisitor, and now he's planning to assault the very fabrics of our ways.
Oh, man, okay. Alright, sir, and I'm going to step back, and we are going to reveal, as I do here, this wonderful guild here you've brought here tonight, and this is the guild Vanitas. And so let us also introduce the officers of Vanitas, and starting over here on the left, we have Historia Lair, the barbaric noble, nicknamed Hissy of the Lair. Officer Alt of Vanitas is level 87 human monk, currently taking a much needed break. Wonderful. Next we have Piano Santiago, the eccentric lady killer explosionaire. Officer Alta of Vanitas. He's a level 70 human rogue on vacation from his engineering fixation. Alrighty. Next we have Rachel Lamb, Counselor of Flame and Confession, Anointed One, Harbingers of Vanitas. Hello. Is a level 90 human mage. Pleased to meet you. Wonderful. Alrighty, over on the other side of the aisle, we have Raymond Dinath Tholane, Lord Harbinger Field Marshal Sir, nicknamed Ray of House Tholane. He's Harbinger of Vanitas, is a level 90 human death knight. And next we have General Kalad Shepherd, General of Vanitas, Harbinger. His nickname Call, Harbingers of Vanitas. He's a level 90 human warrior and suffering from head trauma. Oh, what happened, sir?
Well, you see, I got into a little scuffle with a enemy cultist, and I got the short end of the stick.
Okay, literally, huh? Okay, wonderful. And so, folks, when we come back, well, not wonderful. Not wonderful that you got hit in the head, of course, but but when we come back, folks, we will meet the rest of Vanitas, and so we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back, and so, sir, let us go ahead and meet the fine folks that you've brought with you tonight. So I guess starting on the left here.
The first person we brought is Alyssa. Alyssa advertised she joined the guild a while back after the Wellspring of Solace fell apart. She originally started out as a person who antagonized the guild, and then we eventually started to corrupt her and bring her into the folds of Vanitas and the ways of Malism, our own guild religion.
Alright, so she is an Inquisitor of the Occult Branch. Her nickname is Allie, and she's a level 90 human warlock. So wonderful. And so next.
The next one is Lieutenant Mordred. He is a vast might within our military. Just a few days ago, he killed a couple of our own members. We had to put him in prison. But because his acts of violence were so devastating, I pulled him out, because that's more effective on the battlefield against our enemies then against us, so we have to learn how to unleash his rage.
Okay, okay, wow. He is the Gorger, the Red Rider, the Red Knight, nicknamed Mord or Brute of Stormguard. He's a part of the military branch of Vanitas. He's a level 90 Arathi human Death Knight, and clad in armor, it gives off a strong red pulsating aura. Wonderful. Okay, next.
The next one is a new addition to the guild. He's Private Arid Dragor. He joins us in nearly every single one of our missions, most recently the ones in Northrend. He recently joined the guild when we were at war with the Nightfall Vanguard, and he has a massive rivalry against them, in that guild in particular.
Oh, okay. He's the Conqueror of Ice Crown, champion of the Ebon Blade, nicknamed Private Soldier Frosty of Vanitas. He's also in the military branch. He's a level 90 skeletal Death Knight. Excellent. And next, sir, across the aisle here.
One of our more elite soldiers within the guild are the Vanitas Guards, and Kong Human, or Authorin, is one of the most veteranized versions of them. He joined the guild after the Eastern Confederacy fell apart, and he is just a massive wall and a terrifying person to face on any battlefield. I dread the person who goes against him in battle.
Okay, yeah, he is nicknamed the Wall of Vanitas, also the Fellbreaker. He's in the Vanitas Guards, as you mentioned. He's a level 90 Hulk warrior, and just arrived back in the Eastern Kingdoms. Excellent. And next to him, sir.
Field Agent Shayna Starbreeze, or Breach. She is a mercenary for hire, usually at expensive rates. Her work is spectacular. She often uses engineering and other forms of technology to get her kill. She's a major sharpshooter, and she joined the guild a long time ago when the Lord before me paid her about 200k in gold to join us.
Wow. All right. And again, as you mentioned, she's an intelligence operative, a sharpshooter, nicknamed Breach, in the intelligence branch of Vanitas. Wonderful. And last but certainly not least,
Inquisitor Drazix Cogshadow. This insane little gnome has a love-hate relationship with his demon Corzel. The two of them can never be far from each other as they are dependent upon each other. One might think that Drazix is always in his own little world, or he's just thinking he's a Void Walker himself. Not really sure.
okay. And he is a Nethermancer, a Void Shaper, Master Summoner, nicknamed Drazi of the Void, part of the occult branch of Vanitas. He's a level 90 Gnome Warlock, and currently mourning the loss of his pebbles. Okay, sir, what happened to your pebbles?
Okay, Pebbles was an infernal I recently had enslaved back in our previous encounter, and it was love at first sight. This demon fell from the sky, just erupted out of the ground. He looked so beautiful. I had to enslave him, make him my little pet, took him on a leash, took a little walk around. It was magical. Unfortunately, he didn't last too long though, and it was pretty hard.
Okay, wonderful. Well, fantastic.
It's good to note that he lost him the same day he got him. Drazix falls in love very quickly.
Okay.
I'm very affectionate.
All right. Well, excellent. So, folks, when we come back, we're going to start learning all about this great guild of Vanitas. So we'll be right back with that. All righty, folks, and we are back. And so, sir, Vanitas, how did you come up with that name? Did you get that out of a book, a movie? Where did you come up with the name Vanitas?
It originally we were a different guild called the Dark Hand, but we had to change our name when we came back to the game. We were doing an Axaramus run while trying to figure out a name, and one of our old members said, I've always wanted to name Vanitas for a guild, and I looked into it, and I was thinking, what did it mean? And I looked it up, and it literally means, the Latin word means vanity, and is loosely translated corresponds to the meaninglessness of earthly life and the transient nature of all earthly goods and pursuits. So it's basically how mortality is useless. So a little bit of nihilism there.
Oh, okay. Well, wow, that is great. Again, I don't think I've ever seen another guild named Vanitas, so it's very unique, and it definitely fits, I think, your guild. And so, what type of guild is Vanitas? Is it a heavy RP guild, medium, light, PvP? What kind of guild is it?
It's a medium to heavy RP guild. It's a militaristic evil cult, similar to the Sith Empire in Star Wars. So we have our cultist practices, and we also enforce that with our strict militarism.
Okay. And so, do you guys do any PvP? Is it all PvE, raids, anything like that?
We mostly, the main practice for the guild is RP, but if anyone wants to PvE for gear and stuff like that, well, that's okay. If anyone wants to PvP, that's okay. I mean, we're pretty much all around. We're casual in that way.
Okay, excellent. Well, very good. And so, folks, when we come back, we are going to learn about the history of Vanitas. So we'll get some backstory on this great guild. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And so, sir, what can you tell us about the history of Vanitas?
Vanitas was actually formed from a guild about 3 years ago called the Dark Hand. The Dark Hand was an evil guild based out of Darkshire and would eventually collapse with the War of the Ten Armies. From there, the original Lord Malice went into seclusion for about a year until he came back and remade the Dark Hand under the name Vanitas. Now, Vanitas would last about a month before it got into a war with the Eastern Confederacy under Thane Galvin Thulmane. The war lasted a good couple of months until the Vanitas defeated them through a battle tactic employed by the cult of Ner'zhul, which is called unrestricted warfare, through the use of guerrilla tactics. What we do is we target their families and eliminate them, making the people in the Eastern Confederacy go mad with hatred, and essentially turn them into us after a while. These evil, bloodlusting maniacs. However, the Eastern Confederacy was destroyed after we killed their leader at his birthday, Galvin Thulmane. We killed him, and we lost one of our own men through it because we sacrificed him in order to get the job done. From there, the Eastern Confederacy collapsed, and immediately after that, a dictatorship took over. A man named Grand General Derek Storm and Field Marshal Dinah Tholane, right down there, took over the guild and made it a militaristic regime. After a disastrous campaign in Alterac, we started to see the dissent and a rebellion growing within the guild, and that's when the nobility took back over via Lord Malcolm Lair. Our entire guild history is based upon devious acts, backstabbing, and evil deeds. And it's really just one bloodfest over political backstabbing. That's all Vanitas really is. However, we managed to keep a strong militaristic and disciplined state, enough to strike fear into the light guilds.
Okay, well, that's, again, very unique and a great RP background. Now, how long did that take to do? How long has Vanitas been around?
We started Vanitas back in January last year, about the end of January, early February, so we're coming up on our 1 year. And with that, I mean, we've seen a lot of things come and go, and we've influenced quite a bit along the server. But through that all, I mean, the light guilds are still the strongest things, and we still wait in the shadows, waiting for them to collapse, and we can do our rise, like snakes waiting for the prey.
Okay, so folks, when we come back, we're going to find out how you get into this guild, Vanitas. So we'll be right back with... Alright, folks, and we are back, and we have a new arrival here, sir. Who do we have?
We have Cadmus Ramison. He is a very eccentric nobleman who is also a warlock and very interested in the occult arts. However, he does have a feeling about saying everything is droll. so he's very bored most of the time.
Okay, so he is a dark cultist, the Soul Snatcher, a cult branch of Vanitas. He's a level 90 afflicted Gilnean warlock, and currently he could use a couple glasses of wine. So awesome. Welcome, sir. And so we're going to pass this next question on to Danath. And Danath, we're going to talk about how to get into the guild. Now, first of all, are there any age restrictions to getting into the guild?
Well, I mean, there's no set age requirement, but we do prefer that you have the ability to handle, you know, intricate storylines that may, be very vulgar, have a lot of gore, things of that nature.
Okay. And what about levels? Do you have to be a certain level to get into the guild?
There's no set level requirement to join Vanitas, but we do highly encourage that you level your character, as we do go on campaigns or have bases in areas where level requirements 40 to 70, things of that nature. But level 10 is normally where you have the best opportunity to get in.
Okay. And so, say I am new to the server. I've seen the episode. I'm really excited about your guild. I want to get in. Who do I talk to?
Well, I mean, if you whisper any guild member, they will direct you to an officer. If an officer is not online, then we do have a website with a vast majority of our information. And from there, you can read up on past storylines, current storylines that we're doing, where we currently are. But that's more or less a broad, general area.
Sure.
And,
now, what is that website, sir?
That website is vanitas@shivter.com.
Oh, okay. And so I've contacted an officer, and what happens next? Is there an out-of-character or in-character interview?
The first step that an applicant would take to get into Vanitas is they would head over to the website as directed by a guild officer, and then they would put in an application. And once you hit that apply button, a series of questions will pop up, and then you go ahead, fill them out to the best of your ability, and submit it.
Okay, and who goes over the applications?
All of the officers do, and then we take a vote, and majority rules.
All right, and so what do you look for in applicants?
We look for good grammar, a solid backstory, grip on lore, and then we also look for, there's a question up there that says, asks you rather, what are your character's feats, strengths, and that's a big part. We like to see characters that are right in the middle, so it's best to avoid someone who has a very strong sense of entitlement.
Okay, great. And so, folks, when we come back, we're going to go a little further into getting in, and then we'll talk a little bit about what happens when you are in. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back, and we have a couple of new arrivals. And so, who do we have here, sir?
The first one, the Night Elf on the right here, is Lieutenant Zero, Bulwark of the Veiled Sea. She's currently jumping. What I can say about Zero is that she's very devoted to the cause. She used to be a mercenary, but when some things were happening that I feel would not be best stated here, she figured it would be best to join up with us permanently. So she's basically the guild drunk, the guild comic relief, and basically a pirate, so to speak.
Okay.
And with that, she's just a funny thing to be around. I always laugh whenever I see RP because it's just so much lightheartedness in such a dark guild.
Well, wonderful. And next.
The next one is Corporal Sidetrack Stormstrider, or otherwise known as Side 2. She is a 17-year-old girl who tries her hardest to be the best warrior that she can possibly be. She's not actually a paladin, though. She said this before, and we're going along with that. So not an IC pirate, not an in-character paladin. Not an in-character paladin. So with that, she tries her hardest to be as good as a warrior as any veteran within Vanitas, and also trying to learn a little bit about herself because her parents abandoned her at a young age. So she's learning about herself, and she's learning how to be a better, warrior for the guild. And she's very ambitious as well as devoted.
Okay, excellent. And again, it's Corporal Chychik, the Stormstrider, Vanitas Lighter, Insta Campfire. The Fire Princess is a level 90 human warrior / paladin, back with their family and starting up some new training. So wonderful. Excellent, and thank you both for joining us. And so back to Danath, sir. So how experienced do you have to be in RP to join the guild?
Well, we'd like to have you have a grasp on, just regular role-playing, how to use brackets when needed, how to do a proper emote, and things of that nature. But if you're not too experienced, we'll help you through it as best we can, and then we'll take it from there.
Oh, great!
Depending on progress and things of that nature.
Well, that's great because sometimes it's nice to find a guild that's willing to help you, especially if you're new with something. So that is really good to hear. And so, Dark Lord, sir, the Black King. Now that I've made it into the guild, you guys loved my application. Obviously, it's Turwinkle. Who doesn't? You've all want him in the guild, and so I'm in the guild. What guild rules do I have to follow now that I'm within the guild?
Basically, the guild rules are very minimum, of course, because we're an evil guild. I mean, I see we should be breaking the rules. However, OOC, we are very laid back. We really are. I mean, not a lot really bothers us. However, there are some topics that really push our buttons, as in, like, don't force RP onto other people. Absolutely not. So if you or anyone else says no, that should be the end of it. So if you're sitting there and you're RPing with someone and they're doing something you really feel uncomfortable with, no is always an acceptable answer if you do not feel comfortable with it. Because RP should be something that's fun. It should be something that you can relax with after a hard day's work. So with that, I mean, the whole no aspect is perfectly viable. I mean, there's no drama in the guild. There's also that. I mean, with no drama, you can kind of sit there and kind of get along with the guild. So we're all very close here in Vanitas, and we all love each other very, very much. Like, I consider many of them my brothers and sisters because I'm that close with them because of the no drama policy. And if there is drama that arises, we often deal with it very quickly.
Okay, well, excellent. And so basically a golden rule basically is to respect each other and to get along. So, you'll find in a lot of guilds that is the case. There's not a whole lot of rules other than, let's get along and have fun while playing the game. So that is excellent.
And a few more things. It's respect the guild tag. Don't go around trolling with our guild tag. I mean, we have a certain sense of professionalism along with our name as one of the top evil guilds for the Alliance side at the very least. So respect the guild tag and respect yourself. If you respect the guild tag, you respect you and everyone else you RP with, and you respect me in a sense, as a leader. Also, there's no god modding or metagaming, of course, because that's just not fair to other guilds that we RP with.
Well, sure. Yeah. Well, excellent. And so, folks, when we come back, we're going to talk about guild ranks and what they have in Vanitas. So we'll be right back with that. All right, folks, and we are back. And so, sir, what are the guild ranks in Vanitas?
Well, when someone first joins, they start out with the OOC rank. Now, the OOC rank is someone who has not really been introduced to the guild yet. You get a minor IC interview, just to kind of introduce you to the next rank, which is Dredge, or kind of like a pledge kind of thing, where you become an apprentice of the other three ranks. You learn from the guild, you learn about history, you learn about combat, you learn about espionage. So when you feel you're ready to pass on from being a Dredge, you take the 4 trials. The 4 trials are the trial of combat, which you must face off against 3 of our members in combat. You must do the trial of skill, where you go into Stormwind and recover a piece of information from a guild or a person and bring it back to us, just so we can keep informed in the city, since we do not go in the city that often. The trial of loyalty, where you must go into Westfall and capture a Speckin, bring it back to Lord Malcolm Ware, and is then I decide if I kill them or spare their lives. The real test is really sparing their lives, though, because it's one thing to kill a person, it's another thing to just let a person go. The last is the trial of intellect, and it's probably the hardest one, because you have to go into our site and read over the history of the guild. And with that, you must it's several sections of a detailed history of our guild. And once you do that and you feel that you're ready to take on the next trial, I will ask you 5 questions randomized about our history. And they're very hard questions. Like, I ask them to my officers at times, and they're like, oh wait, I don't even remember this. So they're harder questions than normal. And if they answer them all successfully, then I say which branch you're more suited to go in. However, I leave the branch that they want to go in for them, if they want to go into any branch that they want, say military or occult or intelligence. Say you pick any branch, say you pick the military branch. The military branch is really the branch that does all the fighting, does all the heavy lifting, does all the killing for our guild. They go on long expeditions, and they really are our enforcing fist into any part of the world that we go to. Then we have the occult branch, who say if the military branch brings anything back from an expedition, say in our recent campaign in Northrend we brought back a Shadowstone. The occult branch is going to be tasked with looking at this stone and figuring out just what it is and what it can do and how we can use it to our benefit. Then there's the intellect branch, or the intelligence branch, that goes into the city, they spy, they're always there, they're always gathering information, or they assassinate people if someone wants their character killed. So we do that. Each of the 3 branches are equal. However, then after that there's the junior officer branch, which is the Vanitas Guards. The Vanitas Guards are the elite members of the guild. They've been with us the longest, and we have 2 of them here today. We have Arthur and Rachel, and Lieutenant Cyril. You met them already. They are officers in the IC sense. They're junior, they are often majors or lieutenants. So with that, they're kind of like an understudy. They're in line to be the next officers of the guild if any of our officers choose to leave. Then finally we have the Harbingers. Now these are the big boys. These often control each and every single one of the branches. So Dinath here does the Vanitas Guards. Khaled, who just went AFK, is of the military branch. Rachel and a man named Grand General Derek Storm, we talked about him earlier, they do intelligence. Melina, who's not here at the moment, does occult. And from there we go on to the Lord of Lords, which is my rank, the G Lead.
Okay, wow, that is a very well organized ranking system, and that always helps a guild to run smoothly when you have set ranks as such. So great. And so folks, when we come back, we're going to talk about guild events, and then we're going to get into probably one of my favorite parts of the interview and have talking to the members about why they're in Vanitas. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty folks, and we are back. And so Historia, how often do you guys have guild meetings?
We have guild meetings, and do you mean like events too, or just plain meetings?
Well, just guild meetings for now.
We have guild meetings probably once a month. It's when we come together. It's mostly officer meetings, what we're going to do, what we plan to do, the storyline that we're going to run, because we're a guild that kind of also leaves our members in the shadows so that they don't expect things that are coming up. So they just have the unexpected, always a surprise.
Okay, that's a great idea. Do you guys have any scheduled events that you do?
We do weekly schedule events, like we just finished the Northern campaign. Tomorrow we do our Sunday fight nights where we get all the guild members together, put them in the arena, and basically have like a fight club kind of thing. We like kind of randomly pick who's going to go against who, and we have a champion for the night.
Oh, wonderful. And what does the champion get?
Basically bragging rights.
Oh, okay, well, great. Yeah.
The current
Oh, go ahead.
the
Sir.
current champion is Grand General Derek Storm, undisputed every single time.
Well, he hasn't faced Turwinkle yet, sir. So, you know, he can be champion for now until Turwinkle steps into the ring.
That sounds like a challenge. I'm willing to take it.
Well, wonderful. It sounds like that is a lot of fun. And so that happens every Sunday night?
Yes, different people host different events. We don't just have the officers now holding events. Now we're actually letting our members hold events, because we feel that we shouldn't always, control the guild. And with that, we're gonna have a couple of just regular people just have their own little mini events just to get them used to it. Sometimes what we do is something called the D&D event, which is, of course, if people know what D&D is, it's Dungeons and Dragons, where we have the dungeon master being, for example, myself, and I have this whole elaborate thing planned out step by step in a big story. And you roll to see what's going to happen. So say as Turwinkle is venturing in a dark alley, he sees two people standing at the other side of the alley with knives. They start to charge at Turwinkle. Roll 1 through 20, 1 through 2 being he gets hurt, 3 to, let's say 3 to 10, he gets into a scuffle. 10 to 15, he gets one down, and 15 to 20, he knocks them both down. So it's mostly like, it's not quite a scripted event, but more of a storytelling event.
Oh, okay.
And not one that your character may or may not get gravely hurt.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
I mean, we've had some people that horribly had some terrible rolls, like our other officer, Reef, who's not here, whose weapon is a frying pan. He is like cursed by the roll gods.
Well, RNG does sometimes swing wildly from one way to the other. So, well, great. That sounds like a lot of fun. And so, folks, when we come back, we are going to talk one-on-one with some of the members of Vanitas and find out why they are in this guild and what keeps them here. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And again, probably one of my favorite parts of the interview is now, and that's talking to the members about why they enjoy being in their prospective guilds, because again, there are hundreds of guilds that they could have joined, but they've chosen Vanitas. And so first up is Alyssa Evertide. She's an Inquisitor of the Occult Branch and nicknamed Allie. And so, Allie, what do you enjoy about being in Vanitas?
Just about everything. But mostly the people. I think stepping down from a previous guild leader position into going to this guild, I was made to feel very welcome right from the start. And we have fantastic events that are very engaging and encourage character development, as well as so many wonderful people just to be around. And I think that would be the number one thing I enjoy the most, is really just all the people that are around us.
Oh, a great answer. Thank you very much, ma'am. All right, up next is Lieutenant Mordred. Is it Dalcron? Is that how you say that?
Correct.
Oh, excellent. I got it right. Okay, great. The Gorger, the Red Rider, the Red Knight, nicknamed Mord or Brute of Stormguard, and is level 90 Arathi Human Death Knight. And so, sir, what do you enjoy about being in Vanitas?
Well, like it is with every guild, you have to enjoy the people. You have to make friends with them, and then eventually act like a family. But with Vanitas, in the Dark Guild, it's more of like a safe haven for those dark type of characters. Because I've noticed a trend with the light characters on this realm is that they try to snuff out the evil ones, like right away. So Vanitas is that place where the dark characters can come and have a home.
Oh, well, that is a great answer, sir. Very well done. Thank you very much. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And up next is Private Devrion, Conqueror of Icecrown, Champion of Ebon Blade, nicknamed Private Soldier Frosty of Vanitas. He is a level 90 Skeletal Death Knight. And we asked him again what he enjoys about being in Vanitas. And he says, I enjoy being in Vanitas because of the amount of time the officers have put into the guild. For example, whenever an event occurs, it's always put well together, and that is what I admire about the guild. Vanitas is an active and friendly guild, which is an excellent, excellent answer. So thank you very much. Alrighty, up next is Corporal Chychek, Stormstrider, or Psi 2 as we know her. And so we asked her the same question, what does she enjoy about being in Vanitas?
What I enjoy about being in Vanitas the most is from the very beginning I felt like I was involved with the guild's roleplay and I was not some background set piece. I enjoy logging in every day and having people to talk to in G-Chat. Just all around, the guild has the best events I've experienced, and Vanitas is the most favorite guild I have ever been a part of, and I'm happy to be here.
Well, that is a wonderful answer, and well read as well. Alrighty, folks, up next we have Camus Romason, Dark Cultist, the Soul Snatcher. Again, currently, what's good in being good? Really, honestly, what's good in being good? So, sir, what do you enjoy about being in Vanitas?
Well, I love Vanitas just because the dark theme of the guild is not just a cliche evil guild that goes around just killing people and forcing roleplay on other people, because that's very annoying. But I like Vanitas because it has a lot of guild events to offer. Everyone's very nice. It has themes in it that aren't so common that you see in other evil guilds, and it's been around for a long time, so a lot of people know what they're doing. I also feel that like I can progress my character's storyline and his attitude can, you know, flow in well with the guild. I like how everyone can support my character and teach me more role-playing tips, more things in the lore. Basically how everything puts together very nicely, which I really enjoy of this guild.
Well, excellent answer, sir. Thank you. Alrighty, folks, up next is Major Thurin Kong Ragehell. He's the Wall of Vanitas and has just arrived back in the Eastern Kingdoms. Where were you, sir?
We just finished up our Northrend campaign, and I stayed behind for the night to ensure that the rest of our troops got out safely.
Oh, excellent. And so, sir, what do you enjoy about being in the guild Vanitas?
Oh man, for me, Vanitas is, you get to be evil. There's not too many stable and grounded evil guilds out there, and those that are typically get squashed out real quick by most of the other lawful guilds that you see in abundance. And in Vanitas, you don't see that, you know? I know for a fact that Malice has had troubles and there's been falls with the dark guilds. I myself have been a part of that. I've been fighting Vanitas probably just as long as I've been with them, and so it's just seemed perfect that I joined them. Um, it's almost therapeutic. You know, they say that everyone has a dark side, and those people that deny it, they don't feel that they could do something so drastic or so evil, but it gives you a time to really just let out that aggression and be bad for once. Because I mean, every hero needs a villain. And lastly, of course, the people. I mean, they're all great people. Sometimes, you know, you have that tension or aggression or whatever it is, because it's like a family. But in the end, everyone loves each other, everyone gets along, and that's who we are.
Oh, well, great answer, sir. Thank you very much. Next up, we have Lieutenant Cyril Bulwark of the Veiled Sea, nicknamed Sai, as a level 90 Night Elf Warrior. And so we asked Sai the same question. And so Sai says, "These guys are awesome. Everyone's so twisted in their characters, but they're probably the nicest people I've met in game. Also, they put up with me and my shenanigans, so that's pretty cool." Well, wonderful. And before we let Sai go, let us just mention that I think every guild has a Sai in their guild, and I think they're necessary to keep a guild, you know, not getting too, you know, melodramatic all the time. You got to have that lighthearted person that comes in and kind of, you know, brings that joy and fun to a guild. And so I believe it's been mentioned several times that Sai is that person for this guild. And so that is wonderful. And excellent answer also. So thank you very much. All right, up next is the Inquisitor Drazik Cogshadow, nicknamed Drazzy. And so Drazzy, what do you enjoy about being in Vanitas?
Well, the one thing I really enjoy about being in Vanitas is that it's so accepting of anyone that's really evil. I mean, I've done a lot of guild searching before I found this place, and I had the hardest time finding a place for this crazy little stinker of a gnome. I mean, I can't remember how many guilds I've tried, but when I came in here, I was automatically accepted. Everyone loved my character. I felt like, wow, I really like this place. I can actually grow my character. And ever since I joined in September, and ever since I joined, my character has pretty much doubled in growth. I mean, I was amazed how much character development I've made with him. And another thing I like is all the events. I mean, there's so much to do here. I mean, some guilds I was in where you just have like an event a week. This guild could have 5 events a week. It's ridiculous. I'm almost too swamped with all these events. It's fantastic. And all the people in the guild, I mean, so many very inviting people. I love the officers, how organized everything is. It just feels very, what's the word I'm looking for? Well put together. That's 3 words, but that's not the point.
Okay.
And I love it here.
Okay. Well, wonderful. That's an excellent answer, sir. Thank you very much. Alrighty, folks. Up next is Sergeant Jerome, the Tuxedo Knight. And why did they call you the Tuxedo Knight, sir?
And this helmet is a monocle, and under that breastplate is a tuxedo.
Oh, okay. Well, but there you go. That makes that makes sense then. So, sir, what do you enjoy about being in Vanitas?
As other people said, it's really organized, and there's great people and everything in the offices, you know, really great. I've wanted to make like an evil character for a while. I'm pretty nervous searching for guilds and stuff. So I'm glad I found this one because everyone's pretty accepting, really accepting, and you can be very involved in storylines as soon as you join. Everyone acknowledges your character, as other people have said, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, excellent answer. Thank you very much. Alrighty, folks. Up next is the man himself, Lord Malcolm Lair, the Lord of Lords of Vanitas. And so, sir, what do you enjoy about leading the guild Vanitas?
I'd have to say the best part about leading this guild is the people themselves. I mean, I would never have dreamt about getting as far as I did if it wasn't for my amazing officers, my amazing guildies who keep me inspired to keep going. Every single one of them are absolutely fantastic, and I could not wish for a better guild. And, I mean, without them I'd really be nothing, really. So this guild, it's for them. All the storylines that they influenced me to create, they all love it and they inspire me to create more. And seeing their reactions to certain events, like when a few of our members died at Sealy, and the tears that they had for the characters, it really touched me because I didn't expect anyone to feel so deeply about a character that they actually start crying. And with that, it's just so amazing, and I am very honored to lead such a guild such as this. I mean, there have been people who were once our rivals, and now they're basically an integral part of this turning wheel. And, I mean, they're perfect, every single one of them. A special thanks to all the officers, Historia, Dinath, Khaled, Piano, Rachel, Rife, who couldn't be here with us today due to real-life engagements. Special thanks to everyone who spoke here today, like Kong Human, Dragora, Ramison, Drazix, everyone. I could not wish for a better guild as the one I see here today.
Well, excellent, sir. Yeah, you know, you'll find that a guild is only as good as its leader, and from what everyone has said, you're doing an excellent job. So I'm sure they would all, their thanks all goes right back to you, and that's what I think makes a great guild, is everybody just really enjoying being with each other and in each other's company and following the vision that you have for this fun guild. So excellent. So folks, when we come back, we're going to give the floor back to the Dark Lord himself here and allow him to add anything that we might have missed. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty folks, and we are back. And so sir, is there anything that you would like to cover that we have maybe not covered in the interview so far?
Greetings, Stormwind. I am Lord Malcolm Lair of Vanitas. If you're watching this, we're watching, we're waiting. Like a snake, we'll wait till you're your weakest. And then we'll pounce, we'll strike, and we'll end you. So sleep tightly for now, Stormwind. We'll be waiting, we'll be coming. Prepare for us.
Alrighty, well, there you have it, folks. The Guild Vanitas is coming for you, so be looking over your shoulder always. And we'll be right back with some final thoughts from Turwinkle. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And so, again, this has been just a wonderful evening, and I just want to thank everybody in Vanitas for taking the time tonight to talk about your great guild with a fantastic RP concept. Again, it's very unique and a very well grounded guild in wait, what's going on here, guys? What's going on? Okay, well, thank you folks for allowing me the chance to be here with you tonight, and we're gonna have to go ahead and pop this looks like this invisibility potion and escape to the hinterlands. So folks, we'll hopefully see you back in the hinterlands.
Don't let him leave. After him.
Alrighty folks, well, we made it back to the hinterlands safely, just barely, but we did manage to escape. Well, Turwinkle, what a great interview, wasn't it?
Sure.
You bet. We had a lot of fun, so let's give them a nice thank you, shall we?
I am in your debt.
We certainly are. And so, folks, if you liked this episode, click that like button. If you would like to comment on the Guild Vanitas or on any of our previous episodes, please do so below. And finally, if you would like to subscribe, we would love to have you. Just hit that subscription button and you'll be on Team Turwinkle. So, wonderful job, Turwinkle. You did a great job tonight, sir. And, sir, we will see you next time.
I'll miss you.
We'll miss you too, Turwinkle. Bye-bye.